Okay, a little bit more historical background on what's happening in all of Europe now at this point. So we're in the 6th century CE, and we're moving slowly forward in time. And as we do so, general disorder increases all over Western Europe. Um, Towns and industries are decaying, and long distance trade is diminishing down to a trickle because there are all these wars happening. There's famine. People are starving. Disease is wiping out whole populations of many areas. It's a really bad time in Europe. Um, and so civil authority is decreasing. There's not a lot of overt control over populations anymore because everything's such a mess. And so the church, the Christian church, sort of sees this as an opportunity to fill in those gaps with its own form of organized bureaucracy. Civil authority is kind of stepping back. They're not able to keep up. There's so much disease, there's so much famine, everyone's failing. The church is going to step in and say, we can help, we can save, let us be in charge. Um, at this point, European society consists primarily of three groups. There's a great mass of peasants who are working the soil and who are laborers. And over them, there are two different kinds of lords. There are secular lords and ecclesiastical lords. This is the time period that is often referred to as the Dark Ages. But that's kind of a bit of a controversial term among historians. So we're going to stick to calling it the Middle Ages. I've left a link on this slide for you to read a little bit more about why this era is sometimes referred to as the Dark Ages and why a lot of historians are saying we shouldn't use that term anymore and we should stick to just calling it the Middle Ages. So check out that link for a little bit of more information on that, okay? Um, so eventually, Europe breaks into these small units that are all very isolated from each other and from the world at large. And gradually, a system takes shape that's called feudalism. And that's the societal pattern that underlies early medieval culture. So we're getting into these medieval times as well. Okay, so again, check out that link that I've left on this slide to give you a little bit more context. And I'll see you on our next slide for, hey, what's happening with theater? Don't worry, it's not completely gone.